Hello and welcome to the channel, Rachel. I'm so excited today to have a singer with us, Rachel Durbin, and she just released a powerful new faith-based single, For My Good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a joy to be here.
You are good, you're for my good. I will surrender
Why
to
don't you go ahead and tell us
your
about your new single, For My Good?
Well, my new song, For My Good, was a song that was written a little over a year ago at a songwriters co-write I was a part of with Joe Q. Yar, Terry McPherson, and Linda Brady. And the four of us were put into this room, and we just really wanted to write something that spoke to God's presence through difficulty and through difficult situations. And this song came about out of that co-write, and it was just a joy to be able to write it together with them. And then after that, the process of trying to record and release this song was also just a learning opportunity. I was trying to produce it myself and learning a lot about production along the way, and it's been just a joy to be able to work on and release and involve other people with it. And now the song is out there for people to hear, and it's intended to just draw them closer to God and help them to understand how He's close to them in difficult seasons, and that He's working all things for the good of those who love Him and who are called according to His purposes.
That's wonderful. I love it when like-minded, talented people come together and make something so amazing. Now, I have to say, you have a beautiful voice. So when did you actually start your singing journey?
Well, I've been singing since I was a little kid. I was writing songs since I was very, very young, but I didn't actually take formal lessons or anything till high school. So I was learning how to play piano as a high schooler. I was learning how to sing as a high schooler. And then beyond that, after high school, I loved it so much. I decided I wanted to be a music teacher, and so I went to school and studied music education. And but at that time, like, it was all classical. I was singing all classical music, opera, arias, all these things. But I got saved at the very end of my college career, and that shifted my perspective on music and performance. God convicted me to let go of perfectionism and to just embrace who He had made me to be. And I learned how to sing in a completely different style just for the Lord. And He's the one who taught me. And I've had some coaches along the way kind of help me learn how to sing in this different style. But mostly it's just been an exercise in leading worship. And and at different points in time, God has allowed us the privilege to be able to serve in worship leading at our church, me and my husband, and He is the one who's done all the growth there. And so I'm just thrilled to be able to use what He's given me in the way that He wants me to use it. So.
Yeah, the way you sing about God, it sounds like someone who's been walking with Him for years and years from a young age. But to hear you say that you started your walk with God in college is also telling of how intimate a relationship with God can get no matter where you start in life. And so I want to ask you now, faith and music can be such a powerful combination. And from the sounds of it, it really does seem like faith influenced your creative process.
Oh, so much so. I always loved writing songs, but it wasn't until like after I came to Christ that I realized what that desire was for. And once I met Jesus, it changed my whole perspective. I didn't want to just perform for performance sake. I wanted to worship the Lord. And so now everything that I write, I want to be God honoring. I want to be edifying for the body of Christ, and maybe something that will help inspire new believers, because Christian music was kind of an instrumental part in my salvation journey. I discovered Christian radio and noticed right away there was something completely different about it than all the other music I'd enjoyed. Not that I didn't enjoy those other musical styles. I love all different genres of music, but I noticed there was something uniquely different about Christian music when I heard it, because the message penetrated my heart in a way that other musical genres didn't necessarily do. And so it helped draw me to Christ. It helped inspire me to want to read the Bible more and get to know Him a little bit better. And when I finally met him, I realized I wanted to use my gifts in a similar fashion for other people to help draw them to Christ, to help them grow in their spiritual walk, so that it's not just a song for a song's sake, but it is a song that is supposed to promote spiritual growth.
I like what you said about Christian music sounding different to you at the time because it's true. If you compare Christian music to secular music, Christian music is way more encouraging and it puts you in a place of worship to worship our Creator, whom we were actually created to worship. So when you listen to Christian music, there is a stark difference. I agree. So, and actually, when I listened to the song the first time, I felt an encouraging reminder that God remains close to us during hard times. So, what is it that you hope people feel or take away when they hear this song?
Just exactly that. I want them to understand that he's near to you, and even though circumstances might be difficult, you might be going through some trials and stuff. Oftentimes, it's those trials that draw us closer to him. Our faith is deepened through those valleys that we have to go through. And without them, we wouldn't be who we are. We wouldn't have as strong of a faith. Sometimes they're a necessary part of a spiritual walk. Not that God intentionally causes difficulty in our lives, but he brings us through those times to strengthen us. And because he loves us that much, it's for our good that he's designing things for our good and for the good of everyone else, through the testimony of our story.
I love that. That is so perfectly put. Now, I want to know when I heard the song, immediately I wanted more. So I want to know, is this part of a larger project, like an upcoming album, an EP, or is it a standalone single?
Right now it's a standalone single, but I do have two other songs coming out this year, two other singles, and so I'm kind of cascading them. Like this was the smallest project. The next project coming out on August 15th is a little bit bigger of a project, and then in the fall I have a much larger project. So I've kind of been working on all three of them simultaneously, and they're all very different. They're all very, like this one was like upbeat, energetic. The next one is more mellow and reflective, folk soundy, and then the last one is definitely energetic, Jackson 5 kind of it's hooky, it's awesome. So I can't wait. Like each one of these kind of grows in momentum, and then I don't know what the future might bring. Maybe my next step would be some kind of an EP. So far I've only had singles because I've been just working with the budget that God has allowed me to have. But I'm learning to trust him more, and he is providing for the music in ways that I could never have imagined. So it's a great blessing.
It's great hearing that you have music coming out that's for, sounds that different listeners love. Some like it slow, some like it a little bit more upbeat. So it's exciting. That's
Yes.
what we have to look forward to. Now, like I said, I really loved the song's message from the get-go. So what's been the response so far from listeners in your community? I assume they love it.
Yes, yes, they all love it. It's been, I've heard people just say such encouraging things. They're grateful for the message of the song, and it's been a cool collaboration. Like I said, I was kind of self-producing this and involving lots of my friends and stuff with it. And so for all the people who got to be a part of creating this song, it's been a neat opportunity for all of us to see how God is bringing something together and creating something from multiple people in his kingdom. And affecting other people in such a positive way. So it's pretty amazing. I've got, people are listening to it on Christian radio stations, and it's gotten on a couple of playlists so far, and it just seems to be being very well received, which is exciting for me because I've never, this is my first, I guess, real production. I've self-produced one other song, but that was several years ago when I was very, very much a beginner. So this is like my first attempt to actually finish a song and see what happens with a little bit more skill than just the base level. So
That's great. Now, I really do love a song with a message, and this is one of those songs where you can't help but leave with a line or two that sticks with you. And personally, mine is the part where you sing, "In the pruning, in the waiting, you are faithful, you are near." So, what's that line or lyric from the song that really means a lot to you?
hold on a second. Let me pull up those lyrics just so I can make sure I don't say the wrong ones.
Okay.
All right. I do love that beginning one, especially the pruning metaphor, because I'm a gardener and like any kind of gardening metaphors really speak to my heart. But I really love the chorus where it says, "I'll trust you in the breaking because it's easy to trust when things are going well. It's a little bit more difficult to trust when you're going through seasons of breaking and you feel like you're falling apart. And then, like the rest of the chorus, there's another part that I love in there that says, "You're growing me in ways I never could." Because, we take great pride in our ability to achieve for ourselves, improve ourselves, all of these things. But God ultimately is the greatest creator of spiritual growth, and He helps grow us in ways that we never could without His Holy Spirit leading us through those valleys and walking with us and experiencing that.
Technically, we're not supposed to remain the same way we were when we first found God. We are supposed to be changed through our relationship with Him. So that's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing about your music, Rachel. Where can people listen to this song and follow you online?
Well, I've got a website that you can check out that's got kind of all of my things there. That's called gardenartistrymusic.com, www.gardenartistrymusic.com. But I'm also available on lots of different social medias. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Most of those, just look up Rachel Durbin Music and you'll pull it up and find it. I know regularly I've got a video coming out every Friday on my YouTube channel. Some of them are originals, some of them are cover songs, but I've been doing this discipline now for over 4 years of every single Friday recording a new video. So if you ever want to just listen to some songs, pull up that channel and you'll find a wealth of videos. So
Yeah, she's got a wonderful YouTube channel with lots of music for you guys. Well, there you go. You can find those details on where you can contact Rachel Durbin right in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching.